Well, good morning, folks. It's the real Captain Kirk here. It is the 24th of May, 2021. Hard to believe we're pretty much wrapping up May here. Looking at a last week's summary on a retail calendar here for the week ending 16 through 22 May here. So here in the U.S., warm, 1.6 degrees. Warmer than a year ago, warmest in 3 years, sixth hottest in 36 years. So above average, a really good retail sales week. 49% drier than last year, driest in 7 years, 12th driest in 36 years. So below average on that front. To our friends up north in Canada, a little bit cooler than last year, still above average, wetter than last year, about average. Europe on the cold side, coldest in 5 years, continuing their cold trends, below average, and wettest in 8 years, so wet on that regard. Russia was on the warm side, warmest in 36 years, so much above average for much of Russia. Driest in 7 years, so very dry there. China a little bit cooler, above average, driest in 4 years, below average. Australia was coldest in 8 years for their winter, approaching their winter season here. India, about 3.3 degrees cooler than last year, so very cold in India, rare, wettest in 5 years. And down in Brazil, about 1.6 degrees cooler, but continuing their dry, very dry trends, driest in 17 years. Maps inset left are precip and temperature trends versus average. Looking at the year-to-date weather trends here in the U.S., we'll key in here on the spring, but spring, March to May, is almost in the history books, about a degree warmer than last year, making it the warmest spring in the U.S. in 5 years, fourth warmest in 36 years, so a very warm spring on a national scale, much above average. Bars show you the trends versus average, and the red line is the absolute temperatures for the U.S. as an aggregate. Spring temperature precip trends on the left here have been very dry, 16% drier than last year, driest in 9 years, ninth driest in 36 years. So much below average on that front. Even snowfall is the least in 9, third least in 36 years. So warm, dry, little snow has been the general theme. Don't tell folks up in the Rockies, they're getting quite a bit of snow here. But the trend here for June looks to be, again, continuing these warmer, drier trends on a national scale. Again, there'll be obviously some wet periods, but overall a warm, dry month is the expectation here for June. One thing that's way down is tornadoes, 26% below average and 26% below last year. So last year was almost exactly average, way down from 2011 when it was just an epic season of 1,700 some tornadoes. Only trending about 488 right now. Normal should be about 658. So again, we're blessed in that regard that we're on the low end of those things. One thing we think we're going to be on the high end of this year is the hurricane season. Starts here 1 June, but it's already officially started. We had Hurricane Center Maine named Tropical Storm Anna to the northeast of Bermuda. It was a short-lived couple-day event, but again, first system of the year is already in the history books, and we believe there'll be at least 22 more systems. So we're on the high side of most folks, but just about every agency out there is predicting a well above average hurricane season. So, and we're very, very concerned about Florida and the southeast coast this year. So Florida's kind of our bullseye target for land-falling hurricanes later this season. Looking at this week, last week of May here, 30 May, 1.3 degrees cooler than last year, but still 10th warmest in 36 years, so above average. Going to be up and down here in the east this week, cool, warm, cool. 21% drier than last year on a national scale, driest in 9 years, 17th driest in 36 years, so below average national precipitation. Looking at the Memorial Day weekend here, this is the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday time frame here, cool. We've had 3 warm Memorial Days in a row on a national scale. 2018 through 2020 were very warm for the U.S. as a whole, so we were overdue for a cold one. 2.9 degrees colder than last year, making it the coldest in 13 years for Memorial Day weekend. So a cool one. 12th coolest in 36 years, below average national temperatures. Cool spot's going to be in the Midwest, Great Lakes, Northeast. Wet, 36% wetter than last year. 15th wettest in 36 years, so above average on that front. Texas and where they don't need any more in Louisiana and the Mid-Atlantic on the wet side. Looking at next week here, getting into early June, hard to believe here, week ending 6 June, but a little bit cooler than last year, but still 6th warmest in 36 years. So we're going to see a warming trend here as we go into June, above average national temperatures. Cool spot would be down there in Texas. 57% wetter than last year, wettest in 5 years, 10th wettest in 36 years, so above average national precip. A lot of folks are dry, still dry, so again, much needed rain for sure, but again, dry trends are expected to continue as we go through the summer months here. Looking at the world outlook through 6 June here again, so this is mean temperatures versus average here. Again, warmish in the eastern half of the country, in the west coast. Europe continues their cool trends. Precip maps is inset left, so again, still pretty dry down there in Brazil. So with that, folks, we hope you have a great week, and we will be back here on Tuesday next week after the holiday weekend. So have a great holiday weekend.